Hello everybody, this is Havoc and welcome back to another Ancient Empires faction overview. As I mentioned in the last couple of overviews, I am just simply going through the campaign factions that were listed in the campaign video I did a few days ago, and then we are simply going in alphabetical order from there on out, looking to fulfill everything before the campaign releases. I don't know when that's going to be, so for those of you who keep asking, I simply do not know. Believe me when I tell you I will do a video on it the moment that I get some more concrete information, and be on the lookout on Monday for some more information as well, as that's what Petilius is saying it. So today we are looking at the Kingdom of Nabatea. Now these guys are actually pretty cool. I'm very excited to use them, and I'm kind of wanting to build a more elite army for the enemy to have, so that way we can kind of push ourselves. So I'm going to try and do that, and if we lose, then we lose. But I see this faction, and I see a lot of the potential that they have, so we're going to go ahead and dive right on into them. Start out with the general. We have a clan leader. He is tier 3 melee infantry. Charge rating of 3, melee offense of 11, melee defense of 13, armor rating of 7, and a morale of 12. Not only that, but he has bow capabilities. A lot of these units are going to have the capability to use the bow, which is much like the Kingdom of Kush. But yeah, we'll be able to see them, and they will actually be pretty sweet. So they also have Inspire allies, can hide in the forest, are resistant to heat. They scare everyone, which is pretty cool, and they are immune to fear. Next up, we have just a little bit more of a buffed version, Tribal Warlord instead of a clan leader. He sees an increase in melee, actually a decrease in melee defense, but an increase in armor rating and a higher morale, which is pretty cool. And again, he can use the bow. Now note that all three of these are capped out at 3 per, but still. And then we have the Tribal Sheikh. This guy is pretty stinking ripped. He is pretty far above the rest of the group. He has a charge rating of 5, melee offense of 13, melee defense of 17. That armor rating of 12 and morale of 14 means he will not rout quickly, but again, he can also use that bow. So we'll have to see how well he works out in the end. I probably will be using him as the general. For the Spear Infantry, they only have one. They have a Clan Raider. And for Tier 1 Spear Infantry, they actually are pretty stinking good. Charge rating of 4, melee offense of 9, a melee defense of 10, armor rating at 5, and a morale at 8, means they will do pretty good. Moving down to Melee Infantry, we have 4 sets here. We have Camel Warriors, who are pretty good. Tier 2 Light Melee Infantry, charge rating of 3, melee offense of 9, melee defense of 9, armor rating of 9, and a morale of 9. Lots of 9s in there. Armor rating of 6. That's what I meant to say. Next up, we have Tribal Warriors, who basically see kind of just some critiques here and there from their base troops. Melee offense goes down, defense goes up, as does armor and morale. So again, they're going to be pretty good. Next, we have Clan Champions, and these dudes are ripped. Whoops. These guys are ripped. Charge rating of 5, melee offense of 17, melee defense of 17, that armor rating of 6, which isn't that great, but definitely makes up for it because they have a morale of 15. The kicker is this unit is only 352 talents. That is an extremely high ranking light melee infantry unit for not a whole lot of money. And then of course we have Tribal Champions, which I guess are different from there. These guys are actually going to be almost even more buffed. They will have the ability to shoot the bow, and they see an increase in armor and morale and a decrease in melee offense, and they are capped out at 3. I guess so are those two. Alright, down to Bow Infantry, we have Clan Archers. They have an ammunition rating 23. Ranged offense of 4 is actually better than your typical light bow infantry. Missile range of 160 is pretty par. Charge rating of 3, offense of 5, defense of 8, armor rating at 5, and a morale at 5. Make them pretty decent, cheap archer units that should have a pretty good kick to them. And then you have Tribal Archers, who are just going to be a little bit more ramped up. The only difference is they have a higher armor rating and a higher morale. But again, they do have a lot of the typical specialized archers. They climb fast, they're resistant to fatigue, they can hide and scrub in forest, they ignore terrain, and are resistant to heat. Slingers, we have Clan Slingers. These guys are going to be pretty basic troops, and they actually don't see the melee defense that a lot of the other Slingers do, but it's still high at 8. They have an ammunition rating of 30, ranged offense of 2, missile range of 240, which is pretty typical, offense of 5, defense of 8, armor rating at 5, and a morale of 5. Next up, we have tribal slingers. So there seems to be a clan and a tribal for each of them. I'm sure, yep, we'll see the same down there. They basically just receive a buff in defense and morale. That's pretty much the only thing different between them. Down to melee infantry, we have a lot of camel units in this, which makes sense, but let's jump right in. Camel Raiders, or Riders. They are light melee cav, charge rating of 8, offense of 6, defense of 6, armor of 5, and morale at 8, and this is a thing I haven't really seen before, I don't think. They scare horses. This unit gives them a morale penalty to enemy horses, which means I may actually just stick with camel cav here instead of actually using horse cav, which would be interesting kind of a tactic to use. Next up we have Camel Warriors, which just see buffs in offense and armor rating, and then lastly of the Camel Cav, we have, or the Camel Cav, they see a melee offense hit, but they see a good bounce in armor rating and morale, and again they scare horses, which I think that might actually be a new feature, I'm not sure. And then you have your tribal horsemen, which are actually not all that great comparison. They have a good morale increase. They can throw before they hit, but other than that, they're still not going to be as good as the Camel Cav, I think. Next, we have 2 units of bow cav, which again are both going to be camel. Camel bowmen. Our ammunition of 23, ranged offense of 4, missile range of 160, charge rating of 2, melee offense of 5, defense of 4, armor rating of 5, and a morale of 7. Makes them pretty deadly, and of course they have Parthian shot and they can fire while they're moving. And again, they can scare horses. And then you bump that up to camel archers, and they just see an increase in armor rating and morale, and a decrease in offense and defense. Last but not least, we have 2 sets of skirmisher cav, clan light horse, which are actually pretty good light skirmisher. They have ammunition of 6, ranged offense of 9, missile range of 80, charge rating of 7, which is pretty high for skirmisher cav, melee offense of 5, defense of 6, armor rating of 6, and a morale at 8. And then your light tribal horsemen, which see a offensive debuff, but an increase in armor rating and morale. Alright guys, well this is going to be a very exciting group to go with, and so I am going to build a pretty decently elite army to fight against. I'm not sure who it's going to be, but you'll find out on the battlefield. Alright everybody, welcome to the battlefield. We are playing yet again in the desert. Just makes sense. Again, I'm trying to keep this semi-historical, or at least realistic. I won't say historical, but definitely realistic in terms of where they're going to be at, where they would fight, and who they would fight, just to kind of give you an idea on who you might face in the campaign. So, of course, we are Nabatea. We are going to be playing against the Seleucid Empires. So, these guys, I know I say this often, I do not anticipate to win. I do have triple gold chevrons over here, but if you'll notice, all of them also at least are ranked, what, 7 technically, so that gave me a little fair advantage. All of these guys were built with ultra settings on. I actually had to increase their gold simply to make this a little more of an even fight, where they could have more people and have those guys be chevron. We do not outnumber them in terms of cav. They do have several more cav than we do. They have pikemen. So this will really test my ability to play against superior force. Even though we may have weapons that are superior to them, they have much more numbers, and they are also disciplined because they are almost at rank 7. So let's run through our army compositions, and then we'll get right into it. Facing the front line, we have 3 units of clan champions. This dude's like, what? What? Nice. Good job. Good job. Almost double chin. So, we got 3 units of guys holding the front lines. These are going to be our light melee troops, but they are heavy enough, I feel, to be able to hold should they need be, and we're actually going to charge into them when the time is right. Over here on my right flank, we have 2 units of tribal warriors. Let's take a look at them. They look pretty cool. I like those shields. Those small shields are really unique. I really do enjoy just the variety that is present in this mod. Looks, they even have some big, so I guess not everyone has a small shield. Lots of different variations. That works, that works. Over here on my left flank, we have 2 units of clan riders. Raiders, excuse me. These are going to be our light spears, and they are really, truly light spear infantry. Yeah, not a whole lot of armor there to help them at all. Now, here's where things get really fun. We have 3 units of tribal champions behind here. These guys are going to be our tier 3 light melee troops that are also being used as bowmen. And they actually look really cool. I like the color variation between them. And that green, it's just, that green and that purple really stands out in the desert. So it's just interesting to see how they will do in battle. Lots of bowmen in this one. And then we have 5 units of tribal archers spanning all the way across there. We're going to use that that kind of bow advantage that we have to its fullest extent. And so yeah, lots and lots of bowmen. Everyone except for our Camel Calves have the ability to shoot something. We have camel archers over here. This would be our right flank. So these guys, again, they're going to scare horsemen. So it'll be interesting to see how well 2 units of Camel Calves will do against a superior force of horsemen, considering that we scare horses. So it'll be interesting to see how well that works. And then last but not least, we have our tribal Sheikh, who is just rocking it, and he also has the ability to use that bow. Alright guys, well that is it. And let's see if we can't win this. We are outnumbered 5,800, almost 5,900 to 4,200. So definitely not going to be in our favor. But we're going to try and win regardless. We're just going to move up a little bit. These guys have a lot of unique troops. The Sicilian skirmishers. I didn't really pay attention to them, I guess, because, or they got buffed in a new update, because they are actually pretty stinking good skirmishers that are going to do a lot of damage. We have silver shields in the back. And should be a very, very interesting battle, to say the least. Hopefully we'll be able to get up there. We will. And yeah, we're going to definitely need to charge once we're able to. Alright, so we are all set up for the most part. And we're just a little off in terms of formations, but that's okay. Now is where the real fun begins, because they have started our attack. Their attack. Skirmish mode. Go after these guys. We're going to start pew-pewing them with our bow. There's the exchange of fire, and the battle has officially begun. Charge into them. We're going to charge into these skirmishers. And then I'm going to bring to cover the gap. There, we're going to bring these dudes up. I'm going to flank over there. We're going to work on those dudes, and then I'm actually going to start working on these silver shields, because they will be crucial if we want to win the battle. Poor management, poor management. Get them, boys, get them. Flank them there. Flank them there. Wow, not wanting to click, is it? There we go. Let's get back over there. Go ahead and punch them in the face. There we go. Run away. Run away. Let's see. Let's take a little slow motion here. Let's actually pause it. I want to see their morale debuff. They're supposed to be getting a morale debuff. I just want to see if it's actually happening. Doesn't appear so. What about over here? Yeah, see, they should be seeing a little bit of a morale. Maybe they're not. They may actually be immune to fear. They are immune to fear. Well, that's just freaking fantastic. Let's go ahead and just engage then. Not a whole lot else we can do. We are going to see some lag. This is a little bit bigger than my usual battles, so fully expect that. We're going to lose that troop. Keep going after these guys. Again, we're still going to focus, and now we're going to slow down since we've got some pretty good entrapment here. We're going to slow down and see if we can't get some good battle shots. Those pikemen, man. We're working hard. That's a cool little standoff right there. I think someone just got their... Yep, someone just died hardcore. I'm I'm really liking this duel. Nice dodge. Oh my word. They decided to move on. Nope. Just kidding. Oh, that went through a shield. I mean, just look at that. Look at that. Look at that exchange. That's a really... Oh, well, we're getting hit. We're hitting our own troops. Okay, so we've got to change battle plans just a little bit. We're going to start to focus on the archers. Since we are hitting our own troops, it just makes sense. Let's go there, and our archers are going to hit there. We're going to get into the back of these silver shields. We're routing those guys, so that's good. We're routing some section of their troops. Go here. And again, we're kind of holding back as much as we can. We are losing against these guys. As soon as these guys rout, I'm going after their general. But while we're right here, let's go ahead and get these troops moved up. What else could we do? Let's go and attack these guys. Go there. You're going to go here, and that's actually going to cause you to rout. Because you're going up against some good swordsmen there. And those horse archers are not going to fare very well against them. There we go. We're going to move these guys to right over here. We're actually... Oh, nope. They're actually pulling through right there, which is really interesting. That's a really interesting move for them. The men are broken and routing, sir. Scoot back. Get you guys in there. Get you guys in there. Get to melee. Get to melee. That whole flank just blew wide open. And I'm definitely going to have to get my general into the battle. Give them a little bit of a morale buff. See where I can't get in. See if we can't get into that flank. We are getting scraped over there. These guys are moving out. Whew. This is intense, man. I don't want to lose those guys. Oh, we're about to get hit sideways. Dang it! No, go melee. You're going to sacrifice yourselves against those companions so I can get my general into here. Oh, good. He steadied himself. Awesome. Go here. Oh, we lost that unit. That's okay, though. Go here. We're going to take out that general one way or another. You're going to come over here. Nope. We are losing this battle. Desperately. Alright, yep, I didn't think about that. I shouldn't have pulled out of there. We're going to lose that troop now. We are just screwing ourselves over here. Very poor management today. My micro skills are not working very well. And this guy needs to come attack that guy. That would be fantastic. What's going on here? We're doing good there. Take out those companion cav, man. Yep, there we go. Another unit lost. I think this battle is not going to be ours. These dudes are pumping into them. And it also seems like these guys are just able to pull through, which is not cool at all. Not a fan of that. We only have one unit of cav left, and he's not doing all that great. We need to make this companion cav die. We lost a troop there. Yeah, this battle is not going to be winnable. That's alright, though. It just took a very superior faction. Not even that, really. Just a really good faction. See, he's pulling away quickly. He should get stuck in there just a little more than he is. And you know what? It's starting to get a little hazy, so we're just going to go ahead. Start using some flaming arrows. Because let's face it, you guys will in custom battles. I know you will. So I might as well start getting used to doing it again. Go here. Go here. Yep, we are completely screwed. No way we're going to win this one. What about you guys? Yep, there's that nice, awesome charge. Too much. Too much for us to handle. Let's try and get this guy in the back, though. We'll see if we can't at least rout a few more units. Come on. Let's get that charge. If anything, we can watch a good charge. Oh, there we go. There was a nice little bash. Look at that mechanic. I don't ever remember seeing that kind of a deal. Maybe I just haven't seen enough rear charges or anything like that. That was a good, solid charge. There we go. Yep, we lost the battle hardcore. Little too many troops. I mean, they did have a good 1,600 more. Oh well, that's fine. I'm not ashamed of it at all, because we actually did a decent amount of damage to them. Alright guys, well that's the end of it. I'm not ashamed, not one single bit. These guys actually did really good. They held on a lot longer than I thought they would. Those archers actually almost routed some companion cav. We had our archers almost rout a unit of, I think, bronze shields or silver shields. Yeah, they were doing some really, really solid work, and a lot of these guys have a decent amount of kills. It's just we had a superior force, which is exactly kind of what I wanted to do. I wanted to test the limits and see how well I could get the job done. That's okay. I don't mind losing one bit. So that will be the end of the Nabatea faction overview. They are still a very powerful faction. I will say that. And very cool. It'll be very interesting to see how well they work in the campaign, because they are powerful. I mean, I could have taken on that army if I had not put any chevrons on at all, which maybe I probably should have. I still think I probably could have won. But regardless, I do think they will work as a very powerful faction, and that's one thing that I like about this Ancient Empires mod, is even the small factions that you don't think will matter all have some pretty decent units that could make a big indention in custom multiplayer battles as well as the campaign. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Follow me on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. This is Havoc, and I'm out of here. Peace!